eers weer terug na my toe, dat Gert en Leon tyd het om te ry. En dan gaan ek, jy kan onmiddellik, het jy die twee presentations aan mekaar? As Leon klaar, as Leon sy laaste slide opgesit het, dan kan jy onmiddellik oorgaan na Gert se eerste slide, hoor. Okay, so dan kan jy maar, so ek sal so 'n bietjie meer vleis probeer insit in die begin. Oké, maar ons is reg. Good evening, everybody. This is Isak Staat speaking. This is our wool market report for auction 29 that was sold today on Wednesday. We had I think what we could call a tough day at the office, but we are working. We're still doing our our wool auction volumes. Are still reduced auction volumes. So, but over to Leon to give you more detail of what happened in the auction today. Leon.
Thank you, Isak. Yes, indeed, we sold catalog 29. Were sold today. We had about 8,038 bales on offer, which were a little bit more than last week, about 500 bales more than we had last week, and I think we saw that we had a little bit more bales on offer. 53% of the total volume consisted of medium length wool, 40 to 59 millimeters. 69% of the offer were finer than 20 micron. This means that we actually had the biggest offer of long and medium micron type wools of the last 3 auctions at least. So our longer and medium micron types, there were quite a huge amount of those types of wool on the auction. 82% of the wool was sold, and we had a passed-in or a no-bid rate of 5%, which resulted in a 4% higher passed-in and no-bid rate than we had last week, which might have resulted due to the larger offering we had for the day. Our early market indicators show that the South African market went down by 3%. The Aussie market dropped within the same week by 2.5%, which means that we are currently trading at 143 Rand, our clean yield price, and and we were trading at 205 Rand 84 last year at the same time. This means a price difference of 31.4% for the same time last year that we are trading lower. The currency, the Rand traded weaker against all of the major currencies. We were trading 3.4% weaker against the dollar, 1.8% weaker against the Aussie dollar, and 1.7% weaker against the pound. Our best performers of the day were the MF4 types of 60 to 95 millimeter in length. Overall, there were no specific types that stood out for the day, that stood out to the dearer side or to the cheaper side. Most of the wool had an overall consistent fall of 3 to 4% over the course of the auction. Our major buyers for the day were Limpriere, who bought 1,629 bales, Standard Wool with 1,722 bales, Modiano bought 1,661, and Stuken bought 1,052 bales. And with that, I would like to congratulate our clients, the sellers who achieved the best prices for the day. The highest price were achieved by Miss Joanne Webber. She's the daughter of Mr. Mike Palmer from Grahamstown. They achieved 155 Rand and 10 cents. And then Johan Sauer from Jamestown, he got the price of 151 Rand and 50 cents. And Kenneth Beeks Trust with the third place of 144 Rand and 40 cents. And then our next auction will be next week with again about 7,500 bales on offer. And with that, I would just like to again congratulate all the buyers and the sellers, and again to our top performing sellers. Thank you. Back to you, Isak.
Thank you, Leon. Certainly not an easy day. It's never nice to sell in a market going down. We do think that the market, the things happening in China again, do scare the market. It seems like the virus is already as a second wave in Beijing going, and we're keeping an eye on those circumstances as they're happening. Next up, we're going to have Gert Jordaan giving us a market report on the digital auction site that happened this week. Gert, over to you.
Isak, thank you very much, and a warm welcome to all the viewers. Looking at this week's auction, we had much of the same price levels remaining the same as from last week into this week. Looking at the store lamb prices, young lambs between the age of 4 to 6 months, 34 kgs and less on average, 41 Rand and 54 on average there, with the highest price gain is 42 Rand and 75 cents going to Toppie Richter from Redesburg. And then on the Shorn lambs, 6 months plus, less than 34 kgs, 38 Rand and 75 cents. And Lapierre Junior from Grafrenet was the owner there. We had a good number of fat lambs on the sale with a good average price of 39 Rand and 66 cents there. And the most expensive lot selling for 39 Rand and 75 cents. Belong to Natik Boerdery from Steynsburg. Looking at the ewes as well, price is quite good. An average price of 25 Rand and 75 cents. Highest price of 26 Rand 50 cents from Bokral Marinos Phillipstown. Congratulations to you there. Yeah, generally in the market still on very low supply. We need lambs out of the market, so we would really like to encourage you, if you, the moment your lambs are ready for market, push them into the market and make use of this opportunity of the market being on the high side. Just going to next week, I think we'll see much of the same on the store lambs and on the fat lambs and ewes as well. Considering just looking at the buyers, we had 39 buyers taking part in the auction on Monday, and we had about 90 viewers that that looked into the auction. So it's always nice to see that we have some interest from people not necessarily taking part in the auction. And we invite you to have a look Mondays at 11 o'clock. Go to the BKB website and log on to the auction as a viewer, and you have a front row seat of what's going on in the market. And again, just thank you very much for all the support, both to the sellers and the buyers. Just looking, yeah, as I said, next week we're expecting much of the same. On offer, we had on Monday, we had about 2,600 sheep on offer with a clearance of more than 90%. So a very good auction again on Monday. It's our 7th auction in a row that held quite good prices. So we're looking forward to next week. Isak, regarding prices, that's what happened on the digital auction on Monday.
Thank you, Ger. While I've got you with me, this digital auction platform that you've been running, it was off to a slow start, and it's really starting to pick up now. So just explain to me what would be the advantages of, why would the producer rather put his stock on a digital platform?
Well, I think the most important issue there, Isak, is the market access we give a producer. I mean, we had, as I said, we had 39 buyers logged into the auction. That was buyers, that was abattoirs, that was feedlots, and you know, we had some farmers taking part in the auction that bought lambs for pastures and soybean fields. And yeah, so a good variety of buyers taking part on the auctions, literally from the south to the north of the country. And yeah, putting up your lambs on this platform just gives you the opportunity to sell your animals to a wide range of buyers.
Captain, from the buyer side, why would the buyer prefer to buy on this auction?
Isak, I think we try to make the digital platform as seamless as possible, and we're trying to give the buyers much information as we can regarding a specific lot of animals that is presented on the platform. You'll see that we try and take some really good footage of the animals, good video material, so the buyer really can see literally the animals and how they look. And then again, on the information side, we try and put as much information as possible on the profile, and that helps the buyer making a better buying decision. I mean, we're putting in information such as inoculations and dosage, And as well, if the animals have had some pre-feed or feed, and whether they're in a feedlot or in the veld. So information is the main issue here, and we try really and put as much information on there for the buyer to enable him to make a really good decision. And then afterwards, we really try hard and working on after sales, getting the loading done and the admin done as quickly as possible. So we try and make it as a seamless process for the buyer as possible.
We've been seeing with these digital auctions that the old truth of the first, the selling starts immediately after you've made the previous sale. Just walk us through the process, because this is not a one-day process. Like you wouldn't just load up your animals and take them to the auction. This is a several-month process that you need to prepare to sell animals on this platform.
Yes, most definitely. Isak, the process is obviously when a producer phones us and tells us he's got some animals available, we have to send our marketer out, and we need to gather the animals and sort them to make sure that the footage that we take is of the animals that will be on the sale, and then getting all the information, and that information needs to go to the administrative people that have to compile the catalog. So it takes us 2 to 3 days getting a proper catalog in. So in essence, the cutoff time for the Monday's auction is actually the Thursday afternoon, about at 2 o'clock. Then the entries close for the Monday's auction, because there's quite a lot of work in compiling a good catalog. Because, as I said earlier, it's very important for us to give proper information to our buyer, which is critical to this whole process.
How do you make sure that you sell animals with integrity? This platform, because buyers are not seeing these animals, they have to, and they are seeing them in a video, but I think everybody's fear is that it's very different from going and actually touching and seeing the animals than seeing it on the video. How do you ensure integrity?
Isak, that's very important, and I think the proof there is what is offloaded is at the buyer's premises. We must make sure that is what we presented, and there's no 1 or 2 animals that's off top. And the proof is actually in the service that we do. So we put a great emphasis on the fact that what you've bought on the platform will be delivered to you, and that's non-negotiable. And all our marketers in the field, we've sensitized them regarding this and said that it's very important. And the easiest way to break trust or lose confidence is by not delivering what you've promised. And that's what we're bringing to the table as well. Integrity is very important, and as well on the platform, each bid you can see who's bidding against you. There's a number, and any buyer has the opportunity to contact BKB and ask him or ask us who was the buyer that bid against him. So that in that essence, we make sure that we really putting a transparent solution to the market that can be trusted, and it's non-negotiable for us.
Do you think this is ever going to work for the stud industry?
Most definitely, Isak. Regarding we had some really successful commercial merino auctions in the past, and as well we've done a few bull sales, and again it's about information that you present to the prospective buyer. Make sure that information is correct, and the bidding material is of such a standard that the buyer is able to make a really good and informed decision. So it's all about information and the integrity of the platform we use. And then another thing is the ease of use. It's very important that the platform we use is user friendly, And that's why as well, whenever there's an issue of a buyer not getting onto the platform with the login details, we have a backup support which we give. There's a number that can be contacted, and literally within minutes, we'll get that person back onto the system. So yeah, now most definitely the stud auctions, as we can see, a lot of auctions opts for the opportunity to have a digital component with their traditional auction, and that's important. I think we must not just look at the challenges COVID presents us, or the foot and mouth issues, but we must really make the digital part of the auction. We must just embrace it and see what it can mean for us in the future, and putting strategies in place to use technology in enhancing our brand as a stud breeder.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time.
Isak, thank you very much, and it was lovely being on the show. Much appreciated.
Thank you, everybody. Please have a good evening. See you next week.